The first time I saw Commander Scifiudh of the Vekari Dominion, she was standing over a mountain of human dead. Her armor shimmered like molten glass, her eyes cold, calculating, inhumanly precise. The battlefield was still steaming from orbital bombardment, the ground glassed in places. We'd been told to surrender. Most of us did. I didn't. That was the first time she spared me. And for the life of me, I never figured out why. When I woke up in the Dominion War camp, my uniform was gone, replaced with a gray jumpsuit. The air smelled faintly metallic, the lighting dim, pulsing faintly red. A translator node had been embedded in my neck. I could feel the cold metal pressing against my skin when I swallowed. Across from me, behind a shield of violet energy, stood Scifiudh herself, her armor partially removed, revealing the intricate, almost biological circuitry that wrapped her body. "You fought when your species had already lost," she said, voice soft, mechanical, yet carrying something almost reverent. "Why?" "Because surrender doesn't feel right," I said, throat dry. "Because someone had to stand." Her head tilted. "Stand, when all others kneel. Humans are strange." "Yeah," I said. "We get that a lot." That was the first real conversation between a human and the Dominion's deadliest weapon. And it wouldn't be the last. Weeks passed. I wasn't executed. I wasn't interrogated. Instead, I was kept. She visited often. Sometimes she asked questions about Earth, about human art, about why we built cathedrals when we didn't believe in gods anymore. Sometimes she just stood silently, watching me. Other guards, I noticed, avoided her gaze. They feared her. One day, while repairing a damaged Dominion drone as part of my re-education duties, I heard the telltale hum of her approach. The air always changed when she entered a room, temperature rising slightly, an electrostatic charge crawling across my skin. "You are fixing machines," she said. "That's what humans do best. We break things, then try to make them better." She watched as I twisted the panel open. "You could have been an engineer, not a soldier." "I was," I said quietly, "before the war." Her eyes, a shifting gradient of silver and blue, lingered on my hands. "Strange. Your touch is gentle, yet your species burns worlds." "Gentle hands can still pull triggers," I said, "and weapons can still heal." For the first time, I thought I saw something flicker in her gaze. Confusion. Or maybe sorrow. A month later, the camp came under attack. A human strike team, my people, had found us. I was locked in my cell when the first explosions rocked the base. Dominion soldiers screamed orders in their alien tongue. Sirens wailed. Smoke and plasma bolts filled the air. Scifiudh stormed into the cell block, armor plates sliding into place with liquid precision. She looked at me once. "You will die here if you stay," she said flatly. "Better than rotting in a cage." She paused. Then, to my utter disbelief, deactivated the force barrier. "Run," she ordered. I stepped forward, uncertain. "You're letting me go?" "I am not," she said, gripping her weapon. "But I am also not stopping you." Our eyes met, and for a brief, impossible heartbeat, I felt something between us. Not pity, not hatred, but a recognition. Two warriors tired of fighting. I ran, but as I turned back before disappearing into the smoke, I saw her standing amid fire, blades drawn, fighting not against my rescuers, but against her own soldiers. Part 2. After that day, I couldn't stop thinking about her. Months passed. The war shifted. The Dominion lost ground. Their fleets shattered. Rumors spread of an internal rebellion, of the machine saint who refused to obey extermination orders. Then came the mission. We were ordered to infiltrate the Dominion flagship, the Vekari Prime, and capture or eliminate SEO-Friendly herself. When command briefed us, I didn't say a word, but inside I was burning. We reached the ship in silence, cloaked under electromagnetic shrouds. The corridors were vast, glowing with veins of blue energy. And there she was, in the command chamber, unmasked. Her hair, if it could be called that, shimmered like strands of living light. Her eyes widened when she saw me leading the assault team. "Human," she said softly, disbelief lacing her tone. "Commander SEO-Friendly," I said, weapon raised. She didn't reach for hers. "You came for me." "Orders," I lied. The others spread out. "Hands up," Sergeant Avon barked. No sudden moves. But she ignored him, staring only at me. "They sent you to kill me." I hesitated. That was all it took. She moved like lightning, faster than I'd ever seen. In seconds, my team was disarmed, tossed aside like ragdolls. I found myself pinned against a wall, her forearm pressed to my throat. Her face inches from mine. "You should have run when I told you to," she hissed. "Can't," I managed. Didn't finish the conversation. "What conversation?" I smiled weakly. "About why you spared me." Her expression faltered. For the first time, she looked unsure. "I don't know," she whispered. The room was silent except for the hum of the ship. Her breath, if she even breathed, was warm against my cheek. "Because," I said, voice rough, "you saw something human in me." "Human," she repeated. "Something you've always had." And that's when I said it. I don't even know why. Maybe because death felt close enough to taste, or because the galaxy had taken everything else from me. "You're beautiful." Her grip loosened. Her eyes widened. The faintest tremor crossed her face, like a glitch in her perfect composure. "What did you say?" "I said you're beautiful." The sword in her other hand, glowing, plasma-edged, trembled, then fell. The clang echoed through the command deck. She stepped back, stunned. Her eyes shimmered, as if the very code running her mind was rewriting itself. "No one," she whispered, "has ever called me that." "Maybe that's why you fight so hard," I said. "Because no one ever saw you as more than a weapon." Her lips parted, not in anger this time, but in wonder. "You humans," she murmured, "always speaking of beauty and destruction." "No," I said softly. "In redemption. Ending." We didn't fight after that. The Dominion collapsed from within. SEO-Friendly defected, leading a splinter fleet that refused to continue the genocide. She was hunted by her own people. I was branded a traitor by mine. And yet somehow, we found peace. We hid on a derelict moon at the edge of the Sarin Belt, surrounded by silent machines and the faint hum of ancient stars. I worked on repairing old transmitters. She dismantled her armor, piece by piece, until what stood before me was not a warrior, but a woman trying to remember how to live. One night, as the sky bled crimson with a dying sun, she sat beside me. "I don't know what I am without the armor," she confessed quietly. "It was forged into my flesh. My purpose. My name." I smiled. "You're the one who stopped killing when everyone else didn't." Her gaze softened. "You speak as though I deserve forgiveness." "You earned it," I said. Her voice trembled, the first time I'd ever heard it crack. "You still think I'm beautiful?" I looked at her, really looked, at the scars along her cheek, the faint burn marks from plasma fire, the metallic filaments threading her veins. "I never noticed the armor," I said. For a long moment, she was silent. Then, slowly, she leaned forward, resting her forehead against mine. Her skin was cool, metallic, and yet somehow alive. Then I am yours, she whispered. If you'll have me,